can't find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gino's Spot. Fantastic to have you here. It's a Monday night, not normally on a Monday. You know, we don't normally do a Monday, but we're doing this special because we've got a Johnny Goldberg in studio, and we're gonna chat to him. And he could only make it Monday, and I have also, luckily enough, got a gig on Tuesday as well. So I'm going to be off to Joburg tomorrow, and that's why we're doing it live right now on Monday at 6:30. It's 7 o'clock actually. We pushed it a little bit later. And thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds and Pinion, which Philip's going to put up now as well. We've got our sponsors have been supporting us right from the beginning. Gary DeBrain and the guys, also in East London now, Gary DeBrain with Fitch and Leeds. And then also Pinion, who are our accountants, who are wonderful chaps. They are always helping us out. And then, and of course, Centre Stage Bay West, our new venue that we have at Bay West. If you haven't been out there already, we've got a pile of shows. We just had Emo Adams there. It was just marvelous. It was an amazing bundle of energy. And then also we've got Dolly Parton is coming soon. Dolly, the magic guy. And so make sure you check what's going on there at Centre Stage Bay West. But now we're going to dive straight into our new guest today. I think originally from East London, but we'll chat to him as well. It's going to be Johnny Goldberg. We've got an introduction ready to go. It's right up at the top there, Phil. We'd have to go. Yeah. And welcome to. Have you got it? You got it? No, you haven't got it. It's fine. Johnny Goldberg, welcome to the show. Fantastic to have you on. I know we got you in straight from the airport today. Did you fly? Where did you fly in from?
I flew from Cape Town.
Cape Town.
Yeah, so I was in East London yesterday, Cape Town today, and Port Elizabeth today, and of course tomorrow, and then Durban the next day. So we're on the travels.
I see. Yeah. I see that. So I mean, why would you have gone straight to? Did you have meetings in Cape Town first?
I had to do some things in Cape Town, but I'm located there for the next month. So sometimes we go to Cape Town, spend a bit of time there, and sometimes in slummies in East London.
Yeah, East London.
And sometimes in Sydney.
Were you originally from East London or not?
I'm a Summies boy. I come from Summerstrand.
Summies, not slummies.
Yeah.
So Summerstrand. Summerstrand boy. But we're going to go into history. But before we even get there, I'm going to just introduce your book that we have here, right here. So I'm going to put it right up to the camera. There we go. Look at that. Oh, there we go. We're putting it. There we go. That's the one. And the business of adaptation. I like that. That's change all the time. I must have prepared you for COVID. That's for sure.
I think you got to look for the opportunities. I write about where the opportunities are. I met with some dairy producers the other day for lunch, and after an hour, I gave them a few more ideas in respect to what they should be doing with their particular product. Yeah. Just ideas. So again, I think you just got to try join the dots, see what's out there, and make the opportunity. Yeah. It becomes more difficult in certain industries, but there's still many opportunities in South Africa.
Yeah, plenty. There are. I've got such, especially even in PE. I mean, I think there's so much potential here, and I'm like a stuck record with this. I mean, because everybody, a lot of people negative, and I've noticed that about you, that you're not negative. We had a quick chat the other day about Fish River, and I know you got your views on this on this stuff. That they basically community is almost set up for failure. They need to have help with these things, everybody's always negative about it. That's what I don't like as well. It's like, oh, a fish, drive for Fish River. There was this whole thing, drone went over the top and had a look at it, and it's, I don't know what if you want to share your views on this stuff.
Well, I think you've got to go back as to the history of why Fish River the Fish River hotel ended up like that, and I think that's no one else is prepared to do that. Everyone just says, well. If you'd given me that hotel as it was, I wouldn't be able to run the golf course because that was costing R1 million a month.
Wow.
So effectively, where's the viability of taking that over with, I think, some 80 odd rooms?
Yeah.
Very difficult. It's not on the beach. It's in the middle of anywhere. And of course, that site was a casino site. So it was a wonderful casino. When we were young, Gino.
Yes, we used to go out on the bus.
And then it was vibrant because, of course, the casino paid for the golf course. People paid the golf course. And, of course, but to my mind, it wasn't viable in that venture. Of course, what also happened at the same time, so call it 20 years ago, everyone had a second property.
Yeah.
But in the last 10 years, people can't afford second property. So everyone had a second property. And maybe as a development to a second property, like a Kenton, like a Cape St. Francis or a Plet, you could have done something there.
Yeah.
But those times are over in respect of second property. Yeah. So it would require a huge amount of money to reconvert that into, say, a village. It's nearly 50 k's away from Port Alfred, the closest hospital. So you'd have to put a lot of services in.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a little bit more complex than just saying, well, the community carried away brick by brick.
I
think the community would love, and I've well worked with that community for 20 years because of my involvement in
Pequeni. Pequeni was also a casino at one stage, huh?
So it was part of that group.
Yeah.
It was run by that group. And remember, those two hotels were part of the license arrangement for the PE casino. So they were all linked.
Yes.
But I mean, I've worked with those communities and they've been our employees for many, many years. And we've only had great service from those communities. So
it's the staff is just beautiful in Pequeni. Because we were in Pequeni, was it yesterday, day before yesterday? Day before yesterday. And it's just such a beautiful place. Colin Whitehead there, who's also been on the show, by the way. We also had him on. And he's just such a lovely guy. Such a hard worker, my word, He just gets his hands dirty and goes for it.
And I mean, he's just project managed himself, 40 brand new rooms overlooking the ocean. So it's going to be, to my mind, I don't think another hotel on the coast from Durban down to Cape Town has 40 rooms overlooking the sea like that does. Yeah. And Colin did that himself, He's a self-project man. Guy. And the construction he's put up there specifically, civil engineers and engineers have looked at it and said it's just world-class. So we've created a world-class facility. Of course, the challenge is in the middle of nowhere, but you've got to attract people. That's why we put up the paddle courts. That's why we think we have the best food in the region.
You do. It's amazing.
Not very good for those dieters or those people who don't. The desserts seem to be the most popular thing.
Yes.
But I think, again, what's the opportunity? He went in there. I was obviously an investor, but I went in only with operational partners. So connecting the dots is saying, well, you partner with someone who can actually run something properly. He's a chef by trade. Sort out the food first thing. In the good old days, we used to have 200-300 people for Sunday lunch because effectively the food was good. He had converted that. And of course, people will repeat where the service is good and there are things to do. So, people want to be entertained.
I mean, the thing about Pequeni is that it's a family venue. It's a family hotel. It's like, it's got the elements that you need for all the kids. You don't even see the kids. If you've got young children or like teenagers, they're gone. You can enjoy yourself because especially meal times.
Legend has it that it's got the best New Year's party in the country. That's
Well, the best entertainment surely at New Year's. It's incredible. And I mean, Colin's booked me there for the next 20 years, I think, and I absolutely love it. Every year we go up, and I actually take the family as well. We spend a few days. And we just got to know the place so well. It's the most beautiful. And I know that you guys with GBS have been there for your year-end functions and your birthday parties and things as well.
Correct. I've married. We've had both my sons' weddings were there. Actually, both their bar mitzvahs were there when they were 13. Both my weddings were there. I've had my 50th there. I can't remember what else I had after 50. I forgot. But I think I had my 60th there.
It might have been a 60th. I don't think you're even there yet, Johnny.
So... we had Linda's 50th there too. Yes. There was some drama there between some intermarried couples, but we won't speak about that on it.
Well, you know,
So guess
it's like
Miss Baby.
a big swingers party out there.
I was very worried about that when I saw you in that coat.
You know, I thought, I don't know, I thought I was, what is it, a barrister? It's like it's got it's a tailed coat, and I thought, well, that's the closest to a judge I can get, and you're into labor law, you know, so I thought, there's some sort of vague tie in there.
Well, I'm very worried about these parties. You know, in February, I spent 3 days with Richard Branson on his island Necker.
Yes.
And he invited us to a pajama party. There were only 20 of us from around the world. And I said to Linda, what's the dress? She said, pajamas. So I looked at the guests, the 20 people from around the world. We were the only Africans, and I saw a lot of names that were not Christmas names.
Okay, yes.
So I ordered from Team a Christmas suit.
Oh, lovely.
But unfortunately, Linda forgot to tell me it was actually animal print pajamas.
Oh,
so
dear.
I'm the only oak who walked in there with Christmas pajamas. But again, you know, Richard took special interest in me and myself because he loves South Africa so much. And
Tell me about that. How did that all come about?
well, we
Richard
belong
Branson?
to an organization called YPO for the last 25 years, and they organize the best events in the world. Just to make you a little jealous, we've been to 3 Grammy live performances.
Oh, wow.
You know, seen Don Henley and
Damn you! Don Henley.
Music here.
The Eagles.
Yeah, and then Aretha Franklin the one year, and then Bob Dylan the other year. Because before Grammys, they have a fundraiser called Music Care, so we always used to go to that too. And in that Music Care, they honor and collect money for musos who are battling. It's a fantastic passion initiative. But we just, again, through YPO, we managed to go there. So there was opportunity, 20 business people around the world. Wow. I grabbed it with 2 hands. I wanted to write my book and give it to Richard.
Yes.
So I only finished the book
to
give it him.
To give it to Richard Branson.
Yeah. And Linda said I was absolutely mad. She just started, shame the poor woman. She thinks I'm crazy. But you gotta aspire. And that's what I was talking about in the book. You got to push. You got to look for the angle. Don't give up. So I was going to give it. I gave it to him at the pajama party. And that evening when I got back, he sent me his book. He said, love from Richard to Linda and Johnny. And the book's like 3 times thicker than mine. So I thought he's telling me this. I was right a bit more.
So it's a competition, Johnny.
Yeah.
It's not a
And
competition.
then the title of his book is Losing My Virginity. So clearly my title's not as exciting.
Oh, no. Yeah. Business of adaptation. And it's connecting the dots of entrepreneurial success in changing times. But it's essential for anybody that's been an entrepreneur. And I think in this country now, we have to be entrepreneurial. You know, our children.
We've done everything. I mean, we've farmed even pythons. I came with a python farm adventure, so we invested in the python farm. We've had a limo business. We've had chocker boats. We've had everything. We've done virtually anything. Goat farming, which was a very bad operation.
Bad one.
Farming and me don't.
What was the worst one? What was the worst?
I think the pythons were just the worst.
I could have told you that. Snakes don't go well in this country. You know what I mean? They're lovely, but nobody really likes them.
There's a market for pythons. So said the guy who was breeding them and brought me the venture. But Peter said, mate, the snakes escaped and they were just.
Oh my God! No, it must have been what's his name, Dr. Evil. He would take snakes, anacondas and pythons, and he said the book, It must have been does take a lot of your time to sit and did somebody help you with it as well?
John Botha's daughter helped me. She's one of the people who work for us. And of course, again, I dictated a lot of the books because of my work. I've always dictated. So
where do you get the time to write a book?
It's like doing a doctorate, which I haven't got. But I mean, I've tried a doctorate twice. And I was very close to completing the last time, but then Linda got sick. She got cancer. So I wanted to spend more time with her. That was some 14 years ago. It's about dedication. So you got to say, well, I'm putting an hour aside at 5 to 6 every morning for 5 days of the week. And you can do anything if you do that. It's about
in the mornings?
Discipline. In the mornings.
Are you an early morning guy?
I'm not, but I force myself to be.
Really?
During the week. Saturday's my best day because there's no pressure for Monday.
Yes.
On the Sunday, and just effectively, I try to free up my Saturday.
You chill on the Saturday.
So I don't want to wake up with lots to do on a Saturday. If I can, I just want to be able to just relax, get into that mode. And I think that's the problem now, is people are not being disciplined in respect of carving time out to relax.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm very worried about. I mean, I'm addicted to this thing, no question about it. I'm not suggesting I'm not, but again, I'm very disciplined in putting this thing away
Okay.
and not looking at it for a couple of hours, because you end up scrolling with absolute rubbish.
It's
It's
doom
adding
scrolling.
absolutely no value.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
I'm not suggesting that's bad for you, because some people get relief from Instagram, whatever. But you have to have the time out. Otherwise, I think your brain just fizzles.
Philippa's just finished a PhD. She did one. She's got that focus. She can
Congratulations.
Can do it.
It's a fantastic feat.
And I tell you what, it's from me. It's just so far. I'm so ADD, but my obviously my thing is music, and that it works in that environment.
It's quite an interesting thing, and I write about that in the book as well. And I speak to a lot of young people. I mentor a number of people and a number of young people.
Yeah.
And a lot of those young people have got either anxiety or ADHD, obsessive compulsive. And
Yeah.
I'm saying, well, I think I've got all of that stuff,
Yes.
but I've got it in controllable amounts that I don't have to have medication, that I can actually direct it into the positiveness around connecting the dots or something else.
Yeah.
But again, what we see is that effectively, so I take thyroid medication. They took my thyroid a couple of years back.
Okay.
So what's the difference between taking a tablet for ADHD or taking thyroid medication? That the point is, it's just there's such a stigma around mental health that the minute I say, I'm going to a psychologist, there's a problem around that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. We need to deal with it. And we know a lot of people who deal with it, have coped with it, and are excellent at what they do. If you direct that, you get that brilliance. I mean, Richard is dyslexic.
Yeah.
He's complete, and he pushes that issue around the dyslexia and the foundation, and effectively, because at school we used to get 6 cuts if we were ADHD.
And it's a creativity that's in that side, that side of the brain. And I mean, you're saying like Saturdays you'll relax. I mean, it just makes me think now. You're faith-wise, are you? Do you take that part seriously? Do you?
I'm a very deep spiritual person, so effectively I'm a multi-denominational person. Obviously, with the surname like Goldberg, I'm not Roman Catholic.
Yeah.
But I was.
Of course.
But again, I think my late father was just so brilliant, saying the problem with the world, there's not enough tolerance. I don't think he'd have followed Judaism. It was from my mother, who was actually a convertee herself.
Okay.
A voluntary convertee.
Yes.
And I think anyone who follows the principles around any religious base.
Yeah.
But my late dad said to me, Johnny, you have tolerance. Even the atheist has got a belief. So you just got to be tolerant. Just listen to him.
Yeah.
And effectively, I like the best out of all religions.
Yeah.
What I don't like is religious people who don't do that on a daily, in their daily lives. So they hide behind a religion. And I truly don't believe that you can really just, you can do whatever you want to. And then if you convert to whatever religion, you're forgiven. I think I think you've got to atone for your sins, and you can't.
Well, being in law, I would imagine, yes.
No, but I think that's so. My religious belief is a much greater belief. So in other words, I truly believe that everyone should have their place under the sun. Yeah. And religion, there's so much good stuff. Yeah. In all these religions,
it gives you a base,
all of them,
a moral base to work from. All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
So I've prayed in mosques, I've prayed in churches, I've prayed in synagogues, I've prayed on river banks, I've prayed with the Pope. I'm saying I have no issue as to where and how you want to get there.
You also surf, which is so, in a way, so spiritual out there in the waves. I just find you sitting out there on your longboard or whatever, and you're just bobbing up and down, and there's no cell phone, there's nothing there. It is a spiritual experience as well,
Yeah, and I think a lot of surfers are spiritual. So effectively, they're very connected to the ocean, very, very environmental friendly, most of the surfers we know. Yeah. And to a large extent, I'm not saying all of them, but I mean, effectively, it's a much more mellow way of life. Yeah. And I'm not saying the mellow way of life is right or wrong. I don't think there are any right or wrong. It's just finding your sweet spot, connecting the dots, and being happy with where you are. So I'm an ex-under-20 prop front row forward for EP. And I'm saying, so people say, Johnny, you've got so thin. So I'm comfortable with this weight, so just leave me alone. But, again, it's what you're comfortable in. That you need to give people the space to do whatever they feel comfortable in.
So you're a prop.
As long as they don't harm anyone.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
So I can tell you who scrums well against France or who doesn't scrum well against France. One scrum on Saturday, we had a 7-person scrum against their ball, 8-man, and we won a penalty. That's incredible. That's top class.
Yeah. It's just skills, proper skills. Yeah, that was amazing. We had the function on the same night, and everybody was watching there. It was great fun.
So it's the first time you've ever played to 10:30.
I know. We played 10:30. It was lovely, but and just a nice hiace in the company as well. I think you've got a more relaxed sort of way of dealing with the corporate environment there. It feels like, and going to Bikweni with everybody every year. Also, I think is it Tembi?
Tembi and John, our two senior leaders.
Yeah, Tembi was saying that it does create this family environment there, for the company too, which is nice. And it must be high pressure. I mean, it's because you're the National Bargaining Council as well.
I do a lot of the national bargaining stuff in the country, and I'm saying I do a lot of the negotiations on behalf of employers at NEDLAC. Yeah. So I'm very, very involved. Again, it's again you got to push boundaries. You would think this little East London guy would be representing business at a national stage, but again, it's a step-by-step process to do that. And when you do it well. I mean, we're currently negotiating with government extensive changes to the UIF Act and the Compensation Injury Disease Act, and it requires a lot of work. I was working on the plane here, coming here.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, I'm here because we've got our annual conference, our annual labour law conference tomorrow. And I think we run the biggest labour law conference in the country. So currently, we've got well over 650 delegates attending that conference worldwide. And we're proud. We built it up over a number of good years, delivering to HR practitioners and managers quality stuff that can take back to their workplaces and actually make a difference. Because labour law is not that difficult. I think you just got to simplify it. I think we overcomplicate it. And, to truly, I think if a person's not performing, there's a process. And if they still don't perform, they're gone. And there's no CCMA or bargaining council arbitrator that's going to decide against you. Where you do lose, where you're not consistent and you don't take the preventative steps.
Yes. Yeah. I had some mates in America. And I think the whole labour law process is completely different there. Correct. It's really quite harsh.
Very harsh.
Okay? I mean, I think in South Africa we've got the right way of doing things. There's a protection for the workers as well, whereas in America, it sounds like you can just fire anybody anytime. I
think there's a balance, and I think in terms of law and all the legislation, one's just pretty careful we don't over-legislate, because what happened in South Africa, we've got two economies. One where people comply, like the Volkswagens, the Isuzus, all these, the Continentals, all these big companies comply. And you've got a whole range, and the Spars and the Checkers and the Pick and Pays. And then you've got a whole range of non-compliant entities. And that's a big problem. So effectively, we've got to get compliance right, or else it will unravel. And I think we've got to be careful. If we want to attract investment, I was speaking to the call center guys today, actually in Cape Town. That's why I was there. There's huge opportunity for call centers in South Africa. It's one of the big growth markets because you speak English, same time into Europe and large part of the world. But again,
right. The times, I never thought of that.
and again, but we've got to look forward. So the sophisticated call centers, we're running out of talent, even matric people, because matrics that are coming out of matric are not equipped to deal with complicated call centers, say in the insurance industry and the banking industry. So we've got to ensure that if you want to go into the call center environment, we start equipping those kids at school now. Standard, standard age shows my age. Grade 10 plus grade 2 10. Minus 2. Never forget that, Gino. Plus 2 minus 2. But effectively, you need to start equipping those people now. And everyone says, but Johnny, where's the money going to come from? I don't believe the money should come from business. I think government's got pots full of money that are just poorly administered. The CETAs collect billions and billions and billions around. We should say, listen here, we want to employ 2 million people in the call center industry. We want to be the best call center industry in the world. And effectively putting that into schools where people are coming out of matric, not finding a job. So we say, listen here, you're in what better place to start a career? You take little Johnny, snot-nosed guy, he thinks he's got a privileged life, you put him to a call center for a year. He'll learn skills that that'll be with him for the rest of the year. We should actually make it compulsory service to go into a call center.
It's a good skills learning.
But I'm saying that's where the opportunity is in South Africa. I don't think it's in big industrial spaces anymore. I think that's too competitive. And worldwide, we've got too much production capacity. And we see China is very, very competitive in that space. But I think we've got to see where's the opportunity. I think the opportunity is in call centers.
Yeah.
And if that's a career, then we need to push people into that career right from the school. So at least they come out, can do something for a year or two, and that's a stepping stone. Remember, for a lot of the youth that I come across the whole spectrum now, one of the big issues is confidence.
Yeah.
And again, if you're sitting there without a job, you keep on being rejected, then you just lose your self-confidence, your self-worth. And that's a big problem we need to cater for. And we've got multiple schemes in South Africa. The real question is which ones are working, which ones are failing. 80% of them are not working for the money we spend. You take the 20% and build up them, but jettison the stuff that's not
Take it out.
jettison the stuff that's corrupt and too administratively intent. And channel it to the areas where the money where should be
should be spent. Okay, so let's delve into the history here. PE, so Summer Strand Boykie.
So my father was a pharmacist in the Sidwell area, and I grew up working in his pharmacy, hence the entrepreneurial skill. My brother also worked there. He's also an entrepreneur. He lives in Port Elizabeth. We both went down the law route. He worked as a criminal lawyer here for many years in Goldberg, then his own practice. Because we had a uncle, Manny Goldberg, who was a famous lawyer in this town in Port Elizabeth. So
Goldberg de Villiers,
So we grew up with Manny, and my dad was the younger brher.
So was he the dangerous uncle? Was he the one that was always fun?
Yeah, he's a great guy, man. He used to play poker with his mates. He used to have horse breeding stud. He used to go to the races every Wednesday and Saturday, smoke large cigars and really have fun. But he was a great guy, very clever guy. But he used to incorporate into everything. I suppose that was the really spark for us to do a law degree. And again, it's interesting in the debate I had with one of the executives in the call center industry today. I think in my culture and in a lot of the cultures we grew up in, you're going to get an education beyond matric. There was not even a talk about that. So I write in the book saying, I had to write matric twice to get a university pass. And one of my mates, who's deceased now, poor Mark Trow, fought cancer for so many years. One of my best friends, he died about 5 months ago, also comes from our background. He said, Johnny, when he read the book before I launched it, he said, Johnny, you must take it out. It's not good for you. I said, it's very good to tell people that even if you don't do well in matric the first time, go back and get a better matric and it'll create opportunity.
Absolutely.
So, I managed to then get distinctions and cum laude degrees and effectively
it just
become
shows
the
you
top student because I got interested in it, redirected that ADHD that I had at school into something else. And that's exactly what you've got to do. And again, confidence is a slow building process. I couldn't public speak when I did my master's in business administration. MBA, after Army, Colin de Villiers, who's also here in this town, a great mate of mine. We went to do our MBAs full time at the University of Stellenbosch Business School. And effectively, we did it in a year. But I was petrified to speak in front of my class, 25 people. And I realized that I'd have to teach myself the art of public speaking. As you know, I can speak in front of anyone. I love public speaking. But you start slowly. So I used to watch Ray McCauley.
Oh, really?
He was a good speaker. I went to one or two Eugene to Blanche rallies because he was a great speaker. He used to stand in the back petrified with the dogs and the SWAT stickers, which clearly historically was not very good for me. But the point is we went to listen to these orators. And again, that's what you do. So you just build confidence. You can't say that at 20 or 30, I'm not going to be a public speaker. I'm scared of doing that, so you never do it. Because it cuts out so many opportunities.
Of course, it does. And that confidence thing, it's so important that the youngsters have something that they can hang on to. That say, like you probably had rugby at school as well. Then you say you were under 20.
So I was a good rugby player. And that was where I started to build my confidence, squeezed everything I could out of that.
Where were you at school? At Grey?
And I was at Kingswood College.
Kingswood.
They shipped me out of PE.
Okay.
I was a troublemaker, so they shipped me out there quickly.
And junior school?
I was at St. George's.
St. George's.
My dad was at Kingswood. He was shipped out of Janssenville. His dad was the hotelier in Janssenville.
Wow.
And he was shipped into Kingswood. My understanding is he got expelled because the school teacher slapped him with a ruler across his hand, and he slapped her back. so in standard 2, then grade 4, he got shipped off to Jack Slater was then the Springbok rugby player was then there. So obviously a connection of my grandfather, and that's how I ended up in Kingswood.
Okay, so
we were shipped off there. The minute we gave my mother trouble, and my mother was a very strong lady.
Was she strict?
She was a strong lady. She was a feminist. She taught us that women and men are equal right from the beginning. There was no doubt about that. So I've never had a problem with that concept. Actually, it irritates me because I say the following: any person who doesn't use women and men is only using half their brain.
Yeah, of course.
So if you're a community that doesn't recognize women as equal, you're only using half the potential.
Yeah, of course. It makes financial sense. It makes moral sense. Everything. So and then after school. Okay, so you're obviously playing rugby at school as well. Got into that
So I came
EP
here to
as well.
University of Port Elizabeth. Then I mean, from 10 years of boarding school, I moved back in home into South Australia with my folks. So for 5 years, I stayed there.
Save a bit of money.
And it was just nice to spend the time with my parents. I worked every weekend in my dad's pharmacy, worked alongside him, spent the time, which I did in junior school and in one of my school holidays. I played rugby in my school holidays for Crusaders. Because my dad had a connection there. You know, my dad had a connection everywhere.
Yeah.
So similar to me, I'm very open and talk and make. I like joining the dots.
Yeah.
And so that's where I played my rugby on holidays from Kingswood.
And you're quite big.
I was a lot bigger. Yeah.
Like about 100 kilos.
I've got that Ukrainian neck, so it does help.
That big one for the vodka. My soul. And then, but labor law, I mean, when did that start? Because I've just done Rob Niemann's retirement, actually. You know, Rob, I'm sure. And also his life of labor law, you know.
I mean, it's an amazing story, and that's about joining the docs and flexibility. So I ended up I always wanted to go to the Transkei because I knew, you know, I'd been going to Coffee Bay with my mate Mark Trow and his family since I was in junior school.
Did they have a place there?
They had a place in Coffee Bay. His dad was the hotelier at Kwanduli. And so I saw that this was a really good place to do business. So I said, I'm going to the Transkei. When I finished my MBA, I'm off there. And I went there and I took a job in a financial services company, Idem Tata. They gave me the Transkei region to run. And they used to do financial concessions. So that's where I started, financial concessions. Remember, I'd done an MBA and I studied accounts. And so I understood how to do financial modeling. And I went into financial services in terms of helping companies claim their industrial concessions. But the opportunity was I met all those Transkei industrialists.
So they could get tax relief from
tax relief
from that
and
stuff.
direct cash relief. And then in 1990, you know, as things happened, labor was banned in the Transkei and Ciskei. There was a very, very low minimum wage, and that just exploded as we were running up the 95 election in 1990. So my good friend, who's a great friend of mine today, Billy Gauss, also one of my best friends, great business partner of mine, he was running and was a part owner in an exhaust factory that supplied to Mercedes-Benz out of Butterworth to Mercedes-Benz. And they said, Johnny, you're a lawyer. You come into the first negotiation with Nomso knocking the door. He'd hired a labor lawyer from Joburg. And the labor lawyer opened his briefcase. In his briefcase was a Uzi machine gun. So he showed that to the union like, you know, just don't mess with me. The union took radical exception to that. And he was fired by the end of the day. And I was the labor lawyer.
Okay, there we go. So Johnny, you in.
That's how I went. That's how I got into labor law, because he pushed me. I saw the opportunity. And actually, Professor Adrian van der Walt.
Yes, Adrian, he lectured me.
Came a couple of days a month, taught our clients, and mentored us for a year. So he used to come up the Transkei.
What a legend.
And, you know, he was just fantastic. And he introduced us to then one of his students, Anton Marber, who then became a partner. Now he's senior counsel, one of the lead guys in the Zondo Commission, respect leading evidence. And that's how we really started. And Colin then joined us. Colin was a stockbroker. We'd done our MBAs together. Brought him back from Joburg, and he came to us and he joined us in the Transkei. And that's how we started. Data, Butterworth, then East London, then Joburg. And that's how we started.
Getting into the companies that hadn't had this legislation before, really, and they needed to make a plan.
And interesting, Bantu Alamisa was the military ruler he was a military ruler. He had a coup and he took over from Stella Sakau. And effectively, he locked us in the Wild Coast Sun with Professor Via, and he said, I wanted labor law in 2 weeks, and we drafted it within 2 weeks.
Wow.
I was so wet behind the ears as a labor guy. The only books I had in my bag were from a guy called Professor Johnson and Professor Cheadle. They came to this commission where we wrote the law representing the unions. So Johnny Goldberg, was against these two oaks with the only books in my... So I often used to ask for a
Written
break.
by them.
Yeah, ask for a break so I could go to the toilet, check what they were going to say, so I know what they're going to argue, and then counter. But what a wonderful opportunity just to learn. But the point is, the opportunities all around.
Yeah.
People have got to open their eyes, not be scared. So I don't care. So if I phone you, ignore me. I'm going to phone you again. I'll phone you again. Then I'll text you, say, please, man, I need to speak to you. Give me a call.
Yeah.
And I won't burn the bridge. Most people will phone you once. Gino doesn't want to speak to me.
Yeah.
Maybe you're busy. Maybe you didn't see it.
Yeah.
Maybe, as I would imagine, you're shocking on your phone.
Terrible.
but that's the point, is keep on trying.
Yeah.
If you want to connect with the person, don't be shy. Don't be over pestering, but don't just give up on the first occasion. With sales, it's like positioning up it's like training, it's like doing anything. Just continue to try, look for the opportunities, open the door. And if you can't see the opportunities, then go see someone who can maybe say, well, is there another way to do this?
Yeah.
I don't know how many kids I've given opportunity to say, well, why don't you go try that?
Yeah.
We put one of my partners, I'm involved in a number of business. One of my partners' business, the guy was sitting on the couch not knowing what to do after doing a BCom. I think it took 6 years at Rhodes to do. We put him in the kitchen in Epuqueni for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
For 6 months. So he did his military service there. And of course, from there, he just grew.
Yeah.
Lying on the couch after a BCom for 6 years that he messed around with, came back, didn't know what to do, depressed at home, straight into the Epuqueni kitchen for 6 months. What a change. And it wasn't like he was learning the minimum wage like everyone else. Grafting in the kitchen like everyone else, but learning skills that are lifetime skills.
Yeah. In everything there would be. You're talking about Adrian Van der Velde, and what a legend. I actually did a BCom, and I finished with a BA eventually, but I did the first 2 years of BCom, and I did a labor, it was, what is it, I can't remember the code. It was WR1 or something. I can't remember. 6-month course. And he made me interested in labor law, like literally basic conditions of employment, the whole thing. We had this, he made it interesting, even for someone like me who was a musician. You know what I mean? So is he retired now as well?
Yeah, he's retired. Retired.
No, he was such a legend guy.
Well, we sat on some national commissions together, Employment Services Board. I sit on the National Minimum Wage Commission. Yeah. He was the chair. So we had lots of work. We've done lots of work in the last 25, 30 years together.
I'm sure. Yeah. And so what, other than labor law now, what else? Because I know you've been involved. You even sold surfboards with a little motor in it.
Yeah, no.
I remember the first time I heard about Johnny Goldberg, he said, no, he sells his surfboards, they got a motor in it, bro.
Yeah, they got a jet board in. Unfortunately, the company went liquidated, but we still got them going. Yeah. But I mean, I suppose one of my best investments, you met him on the weekend, was a property our commercial property portfolio. So Paul Theodos is my business partner there. And about 25 years ago, I went to him, I said, listen, you can take half of Global. Yeah. You just come in and build a property portfolio. And of course, that's what's happened. So he's just done an exceptional job. He's a very specialized property guy. Actually, when he then started AccuCap, a listed portfolio. We sold some of our Cape Road properties into that. And, at one stage, he was definitely rated as one of the top property guys in the country. Yeah. So now he's semi-retired, just running our property. And it's complicated because there's lots going on. We have lots of different varieties of properties. Mm-hmm. But, that was an excellent business model for me.
It's commercial.
Cash flow from the consultancy and into commercial property, and that's been very good. And of course, along the way, if you keep your head open, most of my deals have been done with clients. So he was a client of mine. Okay, he was a client of mine. Willie Gass was a client of mine. He's a business partner. At one stage in a venture that we established, we manufactured every bus and every truck of Mercedes-Benz for 12 years. No way. In the outsource venture, we've done everything. We've managed. In an outsource venture as well, we manufactured the aluminium struts for the Mercedes-Benz C-Class production around the world. Sure. So we've done a lot of things, but I've got great partners. I'm not very good. I'm good at joining the dots. Yeah. So Willie and Pitt Bosch are great
connecting
partners
people.
Of mine. And then again, there was a chemical company in Butterworth. I did their labor law work. They sold out to Dow Chemicals, and they put a R1 billion plant up in Durban. Jeez, and Dow Chemicals then wanted to disinvest about 18 years ago. Yeah. So the CEO, who was the founder of the business in Butterworth, came and said, Johnny, put a deal together. Yeah. I put a deal together back to Summerstrand. Adrian Ball, who was the head of Investec, the head of Bright, came from Summies. He was a good oak. I knew him from Summies. I went into Adrian's office. I said, would you fund this thing?
Yeah.
So we bought it from Dow Chemicals, took a stake, and I'm still the chairman of that particular company today.
And it's going okay.
Yeah, we've had an unbelievable ride. Yeah, we make our main product is malic acid, which goes into ciders and Oros and very sophisticated drinks worldwide. So we must probably export to 120 countries around the world.
Wow.
Of course, we're also subject to Chinese competition. They've also produced their acid is citric acid. They're produced by the hundreds of tons. But they've also gone into malic market. But you've got to just position yourself.
Do you use the citrus guys yet for that?
No, citrus. It's a chemical process
process.
that you make malic acid from. It's a food enhancement, so it enhances the taste of, say, orange in Oros. Lemon in Oros.
All right. Yeah. It's so many different things. I mean, and Pequeni being one of them. But so that's part of your property portfolio. So
no, it's separate. So that's with a complete separate.
Was that a completely separate deal?
Yeah, it's completely separate deal.
Yes, with Colin. Yeah. So how did that come together?
He came to me with that proposal
Colin.
21 years ago. He said, here's a potential option. I said, we owned a Dulce franchise once, me and another oak.
Not Justin Wilmot.
No, I know Justin very well. He was at school with me. But
she talking very slowly, you know.
But effectively, we had the Vincent Park one, which I also bought from a client of mine who had it in range. But I just hated the business. I wasn't operationally involved, but one salad, 25 Rand, could ruin your reputation. So I said, no more farming, definitely no more snake farming or goat farming. I was also in goat farming as well. None of that stuff. And effectively, definitely nothing related to food. But they came with this plan. I looked at it, negotiated a bit, the red sheet, that's what happened.
Yeah, and so was he working at
no, he was working for the Osner Group at that stage in East London.
Okay. And so he had a bit of that hotel because he's done such a good job. And then so it's property portfolio, it's a chemical business. What else is there in this whole thing here? How many different companies? There are a lot.
Well, I think one of the exciting companies we've got into a company in Australia. It's upstart, but it's really with the old Discovery Vitality guys. And it's really exciting because it's in the technology space too. Very, very clever guys. Yeah. So we took both my sons live in Sydney, so we took a stake there.
Okay.
Myself and my wife helped my eldest son start his business called Duck Apparel. That's mainly Linda's work. Linda's worked alongside me in all these particular business.
What was she doing?
Just accounting. She'll do the numbers. She'll help you with the numbers. But also, the support advice. I can't do what I do without her support. Yeah. I get home, she smiles. Yes. I wake up in the morning, she smiles. She gives me the leeway to travel as I do.
Yes. But you bastard.
She was into these puffer jackets big time, and she's got a great design and flair for clothes and design. And she really helped the kids establish Duck Apparel. Go online, see Duck Apparel.
Duck Apparel.
And look at the range of clothes and the business they've introduced. Yeah. But he is also clever. So he went to do the MBA in China at Peking University, the best university in China. Yeah. And then stayed in China for 4 years to learn the language properly. Because he knew one day he'd want to trade with China, and he always believed China would rule the world. So his move to Australia was really the proximity to China, and to be able to utilize that. So they have that online business in New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa.
And this sort of, is it a Vitality kind of thing for medical aids?
So the Vitality guys, it's a technology company. We're effectively we're rolling out early detection for diseases in pharmacies. So now technology-wise, you can do a glaucoma test with a headset, early detection. You could do early onset of dementia with a headset. You can do concussion testing with a headset, and then of course all the other blood tests for early detection. And again, that's what we're rolling out to the pharmacies in Australia at the moment. So we took investment there. But I'm also the chairman of Invest NFB. It's definitely the biggest wealth management company in the Eastern Cape. And we listed that, and we did listed it.
Okay. And I think I'm doing something for them in a couple of weeks' time.
They're great guys. Yeah. Done, again, under the radar, great guys, great investment strategy for wealth investment. And it just works with my philosophy in respect of investments. And investments, like everything else in life, is about discipline.
The startups and or just when there's investment companies, I mean, what do they specialize in? Is it what
So
are
their
they?
main thing is wealth investments, so local and offshore investments. But I mean, they've started a number of divisions like a finance division,
Equities.
Equities in respect to the investment and stockbroking firm that they do own. But also, we've started a finance division and also taken stakes and bought acquisition in companies like not me, but the companies.
Like
salt,
startups.
salt manufacturing. Not only startups, actually established businesses that need cash and need a new particular partner. So they've just bought a stake in an ambulance business and a salt manufacturing business, the Western Cape. So that's also exciting to see that business evolve and develop. So I've been very, very blessed to be involved in so many things. Maybe because I'm so open to all things.
I know you are.
My eldest son says, my success, I don't think I'm successful, but my relative success, small success, is based on I'm very practical with respect to my approach. I'm not the cleverest oak in the pursuit, but I can wake up and fight and be fit and fight to battle
streetwise.
You
know, I think streetwise, it's like you know how to negotiate, you know how to get things done. Basically, if something needs to be done, do it. I don't know if sometimes there's this with decisions that if you hold back too much, and I'm guilty of myself as well. You need to take a bit of a risk. Are you would you describe yourself as a risk taker?
No, I'm not a risk taker. And Linda's been very good in the business in terms of very conservative.
Okay.
And I'm more open and will go down more ventures. But I mean, I'm definitely not a risk taker. But I'm prepared to let specialists look at other things and other alternatives for me. So it's about who you pair with. So let's assume that you're not a very good guy for making a definitive decision. Then partner with someone who can make the decision. It's all about partnership. Remember, after 25, you've got a certain personality. It's quite difficult to change.
Yes.
So you recognize where your strengths and weaknesses are, and you partner up with people who are excellent at it.
Well, what would you say if you had to try to want to change something about yourself? What do you see as your faults?
Maybe I do too much, and I do drive a hard bargain. So effectively, in terms of performance, so I don't really tolerate underperformance. In our business, we're in the service industry, so effectively, all my emails would have been replied to by the time I go to bed tonight. All my phone calls have been returned. How busy as I am, so that produces success. People like you to be active, and maybe sometimes I'm too direct. I'm giving a CEO some advice, and I really got very cross with him because he did the opposite to what I told him on Friday. So I really used some strong vocabulary, and I said, if you really want me to help you, then you need to listen to me because I know what I'm talking. Because yes, you're irritating me, but you're really hurting yourself. And I think that's, I suppose maybe I am too direct. I am also learning. I'm evolving. So I used to be a much more direct.
Really?
As a younger CEO or as a young executive, and I'm saying, I think there are two ways to approach things. So I can tell you to fly off directly, or I can find a way to make you feel good about flying off. And I think I've learned that much better. But I mean, I do. I'm a front row forward. So, So
See,
I like to engage.
Yes,
I don't like the shit about pause, engage. I like to engage.
Just straight away.
Gino, it's quite funny. I went to the toilet in Australia, and I was standing there looking up at the board in front of me, and it says, the SHT happens, and we can ease your pain. So that I phoned up my MD, my CEO, John. I said, John, we must use the slogan. And within a day, that slogan was in our advert, not of course like that.
Yes.
The stuff happens.
Yes.
We can help you ease it. Global Business Solutions. So it's about looking at the opportunity and looking at it. It was the best advert. Obviously, it was for piles.
You found your logo.
We just changed it.
Power medication for GBS's logo. It's mentors. Oh my God.
I mean, everyone gets so worried about the employment equity and all this kind of stuff. I'm saying, I can cut through that stuff. I'm saying, guys, there's a law. You do have to look at where you do have opportunity, but it's a recording that you couldn't or did or could find that. But once you find any appointment, then you got to demand performance. So I think we're poor at that. Maybe as Eastern Cape as South Africa, we're just too nice.
Yeah.
I say, again, so I employ you, you're not quite the right guy. And the only time you understand that is in the first couple of months. But we sort of tolerate it. And I do a bit of your work, and then you don't really sort your own. So let's have an open, honest discussion about it. Let's record it. And that's what I expect. We're not good at that.
Yeah. So I mean, and in this industry as well, it's better to be straight because, like you say, the guy's is going to harm himself. Law is law, and your employees need to will know where they stand. And as far as performance goes, if they're not performing well, then they shouldn't really be in that spot.
I mean, for anyone who listens to this who's employed, my message is the following: if you think you're stronger than the company, think again. The law doesn't protect you. The only person who protects you is yourself. So in nearly over 35 years of labour law, I've never seen an employee win. Never. Yeah. So, well, Johnny, how's that possible? Yes, they've been reinstated. But if you look at the stats, within 50% of them are gone within the first 6 months, and 80 or 90 are gone within the first year. So, what are you achieving? Yeah. The only one who protects you is yourself. And how do you protect yourself? Proper performance and proper corporate governance. So if the rule book says do that, then do that.
Yeah.
And again, I mentor a couple of people like FDs and MDs, but I'm mentoring FD at the moment. And she gets very cross with her CEO. I'm saying, well, you're not the CEO.
Yeah.
Put in writing to see courtesy that you don't agree with that decision because of the following financial implication. He must make the decision and fall by that decision. Yes. But you're not the CEO, so once you've made that decision, it's gone.
Yeah. You've shown where you are.
Correct. So you can't sign off that if it's not authorized.
Yeah.
But tell the CEO if he wants to sign off, he can, but you're not prepared to do it because your interpretation, and please tell me, Mr. CEO, if I'm wrong, is that's not in terms of the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
So that's all you do as courtesy as possible.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone else about it and let the CEO then make the decision. And that's what you've also got to say. Well, I'm in employment, got to do the best I do. Yeah. I can never win against a company who's got a lot more money than I have.
Yeah.
A lot of people then resign and complain, constructive dismissal, or leave, want to come against the company. The best thing you could ever do if you're dismissed, pick yourself up and get a job as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Forget about the CCMA bargaining council.
I get it. You reckon that's the best advice? And you're right, because you're not going to be happy there if this is you go
into a 6 or 8 month process.
Yeah.
Where you could lose. And your next 6 to 8 month process is focusing on this case that's going on and what, you might get compensation 3 or 4 months or might be reinstated in the company organization doesn't really want you.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you pick yourself up, go find a job, even starting as a simple job, build yourself up again and say, well, I think on reflection, I think my biggest strength is reflection. I reflect on things, not over, reflect because it'll paralyze you.
Yeah.
And I must probably am too tough in certain circumstances, but if I am, I will apologize immediately. So listen here, that wasn't right. I was wrong. Yeah, okay. It was the wrong pick.
So you're okay to go back. You're not so competitive in that thing, or you're okay to go back on what you said. That's
the only perfect human being lived many years ago. I'm not him.
Not that guy. Not that guy.
So we're full of faults.
Yeah.
You just got to acknowledge the faults.
Yeah.
I mean, when I write in my book, my favorite line is I don't know where I got it from. I just said, when you go to the toilet in the morning for number 2, we're all the same.
Yeah.
So I hate this idolization that I'm better than you because the car I drive, the house I live in, what I drink, X champagne or whatever. Yeah. That's all irrelevant rubbish.
Well, I think we were talking the other night about that. The CEOs, the manager of the company, the managing directors, that you've got to be aware of the fact that your position gives you the power over those people. They're all going to say they love you. It doesn't matter. You've got to earn their respect properly in order to get their real respect. Otherwise, they're just pandering. They're kissing your ass all day, basically, and because they're getting their paycheck from the fact that they do that. So
there's nothing wrong with transactional relationships.
Yeah.
Okay? But you must know they're transactional. So the question I ask your viewers, how many true mates have you got that are not mates with you to get something out of you?
Yeah.
If you've got a number that are just friends of yours for the real sake of being friends, then you're lucky.
Yes.
But a lot of people are saying good things about you because they want something from you.
Yeah.
That's also cool. But I mean, that's how the world goes round.
Yeah.
But you've got to realize that. And again, I think that over supporting and over over simulation that you're so good sometimes gives people unrealistic expectation of themselves.
Yes.
So you just got to calm down.
Yeah.
And say, I'm a normal human being like everyone else.
Yeah.
And I should be respectful to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, my greatest business award, and I've been very fortunate to get a number, was the toilet cleaner in Oliver Tambo came across, galloping across. I had my 2 young kids there, maybe they were 8 and 11. And he said, how's it, Johnny, how's it? And my kids said, how do you know the toilet cleaner? I said, well, you get off a flight, you in urgent need to go to the toilet. This guy looks after you, he's cleaned your toilet, he's there. And then you make mates with him. You say, how's it? You treat him like a human being. How are you? How your family?
It's a relationship.
And I think that's what I'm most grateful of, that I don't do it all the time, and I definitely got blind spots.
Yes.
But most of the time I strive to treat everyone with some dignity and respect.
It's good. Okay, so now over and above the work and stuff, how do you chill? How do you relax?
Well, I train 5-6 times a week. I was wondering where I'm going to train tonight, maybe at the boardwalk, the thing. I try to spend as much time with Linda as possible. Yeah. Luckily, we like each other company.
Yes.
So, we do.
How long have you been married?
We've been married 36 years, known each other 45. Okay. Been going out for 45.
Is it 88 or 80? When was it? 88?
No. 1979.
79 already.
80, yeah.
Okay, so, I was 10 years up. My maths.
1980. No, maths is good.
Yeah.
But it's a long time ago.
It is.
But we just spend some time together. We really like our own company. I also binge a bit of Netflix.
Right.
We always try to find a nice, decent series to watch.
Sport Grand Prix.
I'm rugby mad, so
rugby.
I'm blessed to have gone to every World Cup final and semi-final since 1995. I've missed one. I've been healthy enough to go. So I always take a touring party. A collection of friends together. We always go to the World Cups. I mean, France was horrific. They were so rude and so aggressive to us in the semi-finals and finals. Okay. But we made it, and of course on Saturday we proved the point.
Yeah, there we go.
So I'm rugby mad. I can a Saturday watch 3 games of rugby.
Well, of course, you're playing as well. You would be into it. You can you get into it. I enjoy rugby. I watch, but I love the Grand Prix. That's why. You don't watch Grand Prix.
No, I do. I've watched a lot of Grand Prix in my life, but unfortunately against Philly, who was a Schumacher fan, I lost a few bets against him. He's the only person I bet against, but we'll bet on anything. So on the Japan game, I gave him 10-1. But I lost him a bet in Japan. So in the World Cup, when we lost to Japan in England, I had to go in my Lederhosen and give him over the 1,000 rand 10-1 that I owed him. He announced it on
in Lederhosen.
Because he took us to the Beer Fest once, so we had Lederhosen and they had a dindle, we had to dress up. That was part of the bet.
Okay.
So we have these fun bets. Nowadays, as we get older, we can't remember who owes what. We have a end of the year pay. We can't remember what bets we took, but it's just the fun of just having a bet in rugby and in soccer and in Grand Prix. And,
Do you have a good bunch of friends that you can that you chill with as well? You can talk to.
100%. I've got. I mean, my older friends have been great mentors to me, and some of my younger friends. But again, for us, life's busy. I'm busy, but we want to get to see the kids and the grandchildren as much as we can.
That's the thing.
So we're doing that. So we're very blessed that we can do that. So this year we've been in Aussie 3 times, 4 trips.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I come back before Linda. It's a direct flight to Sydney, so it's very, very easy. And God willing, the kids are all coming out for December, so it's fantastic. We have everyone under the same roof.
And mentors, like early on in your life, I mean.
Yeah, I've had a lot of great people who give me honest advice. I think you've got to find someone who's prepared to tell you as it is without any vested interest. Again, they tell it to you as it is. And,
straight.
I suppose Buddy Gauss, bit posh, really older than me. Guy like Rob Folds in the chemical business. He's also deceased. What a fantastic guy. So I've been blessed, but you make your own blessings, Gary Plow would say. I've gone out and made relationships with these people, recognized that I should listen to them. I've been berated and told that I was out of order in respect of a number of times, that I should do things differently. And you listen to that, you take it advice because it's coming from people without a vested interest, without an angle.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just to for the last few. I'd say I always ask about your proudest moment, and then the things where something's really cocked up, like something's really gone wrong. Like and maybe we start with your proudest moment.
I honestly mean my proudest moment when my kids really were so proud of me because I'd made buddies with the janitor. I think, and they see that I was mentoring a young professional rugby player. Spent a day with me, and he also gave me this. He said, "Thanks for spending the day with me, but your real impression that'll last me for the rest of life is how you treat everyone." In the day he spent with me, so I spent a full day with him, trying to get him onto a career post rugby. He plays in Japan now at the moment.
Okay. And so where something's really cocked up, like I don't know if it was a early days of doing labor law. I mean, there must have been some strikes. There must have been stuff going on at that time.
Yeah. I think if I reflect back, I think I was quite tough on my kids. Growing up because I saw some of my pals really lose it when they got too much money too early. They were spoiled too early. So. My kids weren't getting a Sony PlayStation,
right?
And they had to work So I think if I had it again, I don't know whether I would be the same or not. But effectively, we came from a boarding school environment. And
did you do it with your kids as well? I mean,
so my kids, I would never send my kids to boarding school. But in I think grade 9, the eldest said he's going to Kingswood.
Okay.
He's following the footstep. And then, of course, a year later, the little like just said he's following. He's not staying here. So we would never have sent him to boarding school.
So they
chose wanted to be with him, so they chose to.
Wow.
I think the playing field of the school they were at was just too small. And the younger one, of course, was a very good rugby player. And I think if I had to reflect back on it, I'm not, so a lot of people say, well, I should have spent more time with my kids. I think because Linda was so supportive. Sometimes you travel to Joburg for 5 days, fly back Wednesday night for a meal with my family. But on the weekends, I did spend a lot of time with my family. Therefore, I haven't played golf for 20 years. I've done a boys' weekend for 20 years. Because you can't do all of that. You've got to balance it. So, I suppose I reflect back and say, could have been easier. And I suppose the proudest moment I have in respect to that reflection is when I look at my eldest boy with his 2 kids and how him and his wife treat those 2 kids. Their patience without any help in Australia is unbelievable. So, then I sort of balance and maybe we did something right.
Yes.
I suppose my if I reflect, I suppose losing your temper or losing your cool is not a good thing. So I reflect back on that. And I'm not proud of the time when I lost my cool. And I always teach people in negotiation, once you lose your cool, you've lost. Of course, if you're having a big bald head like me, you can see when I get cross.
You get the murren.
I got red all over.
But Johnny, like that, was there a time when sometimes the gods conspire against you? I mean, it's where negotiations have gone wrong, or in that sort of environment.
But I mean, the point is, lots of things go wrong. But I just say, okay, the stuff's happened.
Yeah, you can say shit. It's fine.
The shit's happened. What do you do now? You can't do anything about the shit happen. So we made lots of mistakes. Things happen. So okay, how do you rectify that?
Okay.
So there are many moments where things went wrong. I mean, we at the Magway plantation, Colin was actually there, and they had surrounded the place with guns going off.
You're so really.
Yeah.
Were you there as well in the middle?
I wasn't in that one, but I was in others where it was really tense. But I mean, it's what it is. That was our job. That was our job. I mean,
it must have been tough in the early days as well.
Well, I mean, again,
You said the guys with the Uzi in his flipping suitcase.
Yeah, but I mean, they gave me the opportunity to become a labourer. Labour. They call me. It's quite funny because the joke is. In East London, they call me Johnny Labour. So they say, Johnny Labour. Johnny Labour.
Classic. Oh, let's have a look. There are a couple of comments here. Let's see some guys that are on live. Let's see. Philip Loebscher. The screen's just got there. We go. Sure, Jesse Clegg in the US. How's it? Oh, excellent. I like that. That's And nice to see you again, Jan Buerta.
Hello, Jan.
And I see Ruben Snyders saying, how's it? Nice chat. Thanks, Ruben. Yeah, I think so. I think Johnny's a great flipping guest here. He's got all the answers. I see there's a nice drum kit in the background. Oh, yes, you noticed that. Yes, my little drum kit, this one. I've been doing a bit of playing recently. But Johnny, thank you so much for coming on to do this thing live in the studio. Fantastic to have you here and to take time out of your time out of your day. The book's there. I don't know if it's available for people to buy or.
If they get hold of me, I'll give them a free copy.
Excellent. You get a free copy. No problem. Get hold of Johnny Goldberg. He'll give you a copy. He's got a bunch in his boot. He's going to be selling them with the surfboards. Johnny,
Gino.
Fantastic to have you on.
Thank you.
And
pleasure.
thank you
Privilege.
for joining us.
Thanks for all you do for us.
No problem. Absolutely, and you for our flippant labor. I mean, that's it's on a national level, unbelievable.
Continue to fight the good fight.
I feel honored to have you in the studio with us. And we have got, we are going to be doing this this show tomorrow night. That is Tuesday. So if you're watching on the Tuesday, stick in your comments as well. And next week, we're also going to have an early or a later show because I am away on Tuesday as well. So we're going to have to make another story next week, whether it's going to be Monday or Wednesday. I'm not sure, but we'll sort that out. Thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds, Gary DeBray and the guys, and also to Pinion, who are our accountants, and Amobia for our internet. They are marvelous. And of course, pop down to Gino to Center Stage at Bay West if you haven't already. You've got fantastic shows. And Mike Palfreman, see there's also Mike saying how's it. Thank you very much for popping in. We'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino Spot.
Get to Gino's spot.